weeks. Obviously, we're in phase two now for the whole funeral home, so it only makes things a little bit easier because we're all on the same page. It also makes things very complicated being in stage two, just because of all the challenges that we're dealing with, as far as the crowd control, trying to keep things clean, trying to keep social distancing. I know all of us have had challenges and challenging families or situations to try to deal with. Although most families have been great and very understanding of the situation, but it's just one thing we have to kind of keep monitoring and watching. I know last night I had a visitation, and for probably about 45 people, and it was definitely a challenge. The face masks part is definitely an interesting dynamic to make things work, but we're doing our best. I just make sure on the face mask or face covering side, especially in the public areas of the funeral home, we really need to be respectful that not only is Governor Northam required that, but because it's a public space, it's important that we really make sure that we are, when families are in for visitations or anything in the public space that's going on officially, that we really make sure we have a face covering, just to protect everybody involved. It's not a question of whether any of us like to wear it. I don't know too many people that probably do, but it's just it's something that we need to do. I know also we're trying to kind of figure things out, especially on the funeral and visitation side, and how things like that are going to work. I have a visitation tonight at Our Lady of Lourdes, which I'm really interested to see how this thing comes together, because it could be traditionally would be a very large service, but this time may not be, or it could be, and the challenges presented with that. So we're just going to have to kind of monitor that and make it work as we go. I know over the last 2 weeks there was a couple questions that were submitted, specifically kind of when is staff going to get back to work kind of in entirety, and this is kind of more gauged towards reception staff. And the answer I have to that is, I still don't really know, although I will say that we're getting to a point now where there's becoming more of a need probably for us to engage, especially our reception more than we've had, especially with more services. Right now we're still limiting kind of our hours until around 5 o'clock, although that's sort of a moving target just depending on families' needs. So we're going to work with them to do that, but we're finding that most families are still understanding keeping things kind of within the daytime. But as that changes, and especially if we get to stage 3, we start having things more at night, certainly we're going to need to utilize the reception staff more to cover different things. Also, as our staff that's been covering the front desk is called back to kind of what their traditional duties and responsibilities have been, we're going to need to involve our frontline staff as well. So while there's no tentative or expectation of yet when that's going to happen, I do see that's probably something that's going to happen in the not too far off future. If you've been looking at the daily schedules, for instance, you'll notice that especially our funeral assistant staff has been slowly kind of getting called back because we're having more services. I know this week we've had a couple church services with things, and that obviously we have to have staff to do that and to cover things. So I know slowly but surely we're starting to get back into things, and I think we're starting to see families wanting to to do more than what they had been able to, even if it is on somewhat of a limited availability with things. And again, I guess with phase 3 kind of coming at some point, whether that be in the next week or two or the next month or two, that's obviously going to change things as well. I think kind of as we've talked with the experience of families over the last few weeks and months, obviously things have gone from, a real sense of not really knowing what to do, kind of being unsure of things, to now people wanting to be more involved and to wanting to be more engaged with things. Certainly we're starting to see, the need for kind of what we traditionally do kind of coming back. At the same time, we're also finding that a lot of these families, are, on polar opposites, kind of from A to Z, as far as how they're dealing with this. And especially the face mask issue or face covering issue is a good example of that. Some people, come in and kind of scoff or laugh if you ask them to wear a face covering. Others, come in with gloves on and covered up to, from A to Z. So I think it's, we're going to still see that. I don't see that part changing for a while. And the fact that none of us know when this is going to kind of blow over as far as the virus is concerned. It's just something that we have to kind of manage and kind of work with each family, because it's an emotional time for them. Also because it's such an emotional time in our, in our country right now, in our city in particular. It's really important for us to, just be respectful of others. I think if there's one thing I look at our jobs right now are to be peacemakers. It's really important for us to kind of really help families in the chaos of their loss and the chaos of the world, to really do what we can to kind of bring each other together. That's one of the things that's, I think all of us who are called to this type of work, that's what really guides us and gives us direction in what we do. I think as far as questions and stuff, that's pretty much, most of what's there. I think, I think it's going to be really important for us to, just keep up the work that we're doing, really keep being supportive of each other right now. In our world, it's a place where things seem like everybody's getting divisive. And I think it really, irregardless of what our personal views are as a staff, it's really important that we're one big Bliley family here. And it's really important that we need to support each other. We really need to rally behind each other in what we do, and who we are individually. I think that's one of the things I really love about our team here is, while we are very diverse, in our makeup and who we are and our beliefs and all these different things, we're also still one family, that really does love each other and really is here to support each other. So I really hope that that's one thing that we all really work on, and really, think about, the things that bring us together, not the things that are divisive or pull us apart. On a separate note, I just want to also give a shout out, continual shout out to the transfer team and also to the care center. The work that everybody there has been doing has been phenomenal. The family I was with last night just went on and on about how good he looked. The gentleman who died had a fall, and it was a real traumatic thing for the family, and for them to be able to see their dad and to probably have an open casket today, really means the world to them. And it's a lot of stress and a lot of time and a lot of effort that our team down there is doing. But Mike Williams and I were talking yesterday. It's one of the things, since I was a kid, I always remember is everybody coming saying, the staff at Bliley's does, while other funeral homes do a good job, we're a cut above. And that comes from the dedication and hard work that everybody's been doing. On a last note, I know Kim, feel free to hand in if you need to as well. But I know with the switch over to Paylocity, I know there's trying to kind of encourage staff to do shout outs and kind of really involve staff in kind of the impression. It's kind of a little way you can kind of kudos to staff. I know there's a lot of tools like that on Paylocity that we haven't had before, so I just want to encourage everybody to go and do that. I know so far we had several people who've gotten different badges and impressions and things like that, and we're looking to utilize that like we have with the daily meetings, especially kind of in lieu of us not being able to have a daily meeting at a lot of our locations. So take advantage of that, and special shout out to Allison and to Kim with all the work that I know has gone on behind the scenes with Paylocity and getting that up and running. I know it's anytime you start something new, there's always challenges and things that are, you're even as well as you try to be prepared, that things that pop up, but they've really, I know, worked very hard to make sure the process is as seamless as it can be, and to really help all of our staff to deal with that. So any questions that anybody has today?
I just unmuted everybody. If you're still muted, it's a personal thing that you will need to change on your own. Okay. As far as the impressions thing, I will be sending out an email right after this chat, just to go, it has a little video and has instructions how to do that. So you guys can start doing shout outs for each other. And again, there will be a drawing for it. It's just like we used to do for the monthly or the morning meeting shout outs. So at the end of each month, there will be a drawing, and all staff can do shout outs, so have at it. This is a quiet group.
No, I can't believe, when has the staff at Blyle's ever been quiet?
I just can't wait to get everybody back together again and be a family like we are.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, if there's no more questions, I'm not gonna hold everybody on any longer than you have to. But if you do have questions, feel free to submit those. I know Kim sends out the link, but submit those even if it's not right before a meeting. I certainly want to address things if they're an issue, and certainly feel free to reach out to me, Bob, or any one of our leaders within the company. We're all here to answer everybody's questions, to be as transparent as we can. We're all approachable. None of us are going to yell at anyone for asking a question, but it's important that you have your the answers to what you're looking for. And and again, we're one team here to support each other.
George from dispatch.
So we'll let Kathy get in on the action at some point.
Right. Carey, I had one question for the group, if I could. We have been doing a Zoom happy hour every couple of weeks. Are people still interested in that? Is that still something that you want to?
I'm sure Molly is.
Just wanted to kind of poll everyone and see if that's an interest. Okay. We may try to put together one maybe Thursday evening this week. If not, maybe next week. But keep on the lookout for the email for that then. All right. Thank you.
Okay. Well, hey, well, thank you all. Hey, thanks to everybody for being on the call, and we'll probably start just because things are sort of getting a little bit back more to normal. We'll probably start trying to do this maybe every other week, just to engage people. But again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out, and just thank you guys for all you're doing.
Thank you.
Hey, take care.
Bye.
Bye.